Here's some selected pieces from the kit, and I've just chosen to spray bomb these black as a first coat. You could do them in a rusty brown color and kind of save some time maybe, but I had black. After your primer is good and dry, then I just take some, in this case, nutmeg brown, but any kind of a reddish brown sort of rusty color craft paint would work fine. And we're just going to overbrush that onto our piece. And it doesn't have to be neat. It just get some color on there. That's all you need. I'm just going to build up a base of kind of a rusty undertone. And once you've done all those and let it dry, they'll turn into sort of a kind of a rusty, almost a forbidden chocolate color. So then we're going to use just some craft paint gunmetal, but any kind of dark silvery color will work. If you have to mix some dark gray and some regular silver, that works fine too. This stuff's cheap, so go for it. So we're going to do much the same as we did with the brown. We're just going to overbrush everything and give it kind of a metallic sheen. And especially once it dries, it dulls out a little bit. And with the brown underneath, and if a little bit more pokes through, that's even better. It really catches the eye and gives it the impression that that's old rusty metal. Now, I know that a lot of folks have been doing the interior bits like they're concrete. And for the last 7 years, you know, I haven't been aware that that was concrete in there. So all my stuff get painted like metal. So that's how I'm doing this. If you are doing the concrete, then just don't dry brushes, you know, try to stay off of that part, and you can go back and pick the concrete bits out later. Once the metallic's dry, you'll get that kind of, hopefully it shows up well on camera, that sort of metal with the rusty undertone. And it's important to remember too, you don't have to go strictly directionally. You can go across ways and everything, and it just gives it a scratched, worn look. So the next step, assuming you're not doing the concrete bit, if you are, then you'd want to go through and pick all that out. And that would take some time. This is meant to just be fast. But a little bit of detail goes a long way. One of the things that I like to use is a metallic Sharpie, specifically the bronze, but I also have a gold and a silver one, so you can kind of mix it up. Also, I will judiciously pick out wires and cables and things like that. And then to finish it off, we'll use watercolor pencils, which I can't even say, but they're fantastic. So let me put some ink on here. This is like a alcohol-based ink, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so some of these pipes you can just pick out. I do this where you can see it. And you just dab a little color on there, and it really makes that pop. And I do that on the vents and things like that, things that are deeper down that you want to be seen, but don't necessarily have to be all that bright. So just continue on like that, kind of to taste, and I'll finish these up and we'll come back and take a look at them. So once that has dried, you've picked out the various details you wanted to, like these wires. That takes a few minutes to do, but it gives such a visual pop. I think it's worth doing. You can entirely skip it, of course. But then to add a little extra rusty flavor, I use watercolor pencils. I just get these at the art supply place. They're a couple, $3 a piece. You can get them off Amazon. Just get the cheap ones. They don't have to be great. Just make sure that they're sharp. So do get a decent sharpener. But even if you don't have that, you can whittle it down. It's just kind of eats up the pencil a little quickly. And then I just take it and put it down in along anywhere where there is an edge or a corner, rather. And that will really start to bring out and enhance kind of the idea that, hey, this is all rusty. So let's do a little bit more of that, and then we'll return. So with just that little bit of outlining with that rusty color, I think the one I used was burnt umber, but you can use whatever colors you like. Sometimes I'll combine them. But it just kind of adds to that ambiance of, hey, I'm old and I'm probably going to give you tetanus if you touch me. So good stuff. So the detail on these is fantastic, and you could go insane picking out all of the little things. If you were doing, say, a diorama or a backdrop for photographing miniatures, you could go nuts with this stuff and really make it look great. But even as quickly as we went on this, you can do a whole table full of it very quickly and make an impressive looking table without a whole lot of work. Here's some action cam of the finished pieces mixed in with some of my previous sets, the regular box sets, and they mix perfectly. I have to give credit to the designers. They did an excellent job with that. So it's a fantastic set. You know, if you can get one or two to mix in with your other stuff, that way you can show, you know, obviously Secundus or any section where there's been a hive quake or anything like that. Really worthwhile investment. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you want to see how I've done some of my other projects for the Underhive, I'm going to link those videos here.